Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final day of the PGL CIS Qualifiers. It's time for semifinals. Navi versus Vega Squadron.
Skywrath Mage.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Pretty great here. Excited to see some Navi Vega dodos already coming out with this draft. Looking pretty great. What do you think about this, Neff?
Pretty standard so far. First pick Venomancer, of course. Awesome.
Skywrath?
Right?
Skywrath is standard too?
With the Faceless Void, yeah. Very powerful combination, these two heroes together, but I guess that's why they wanted the second pick. They have something planned around those two heroes. Obviously, like, you get a free kill every time you chrono and then drop a Skywrath ultimate on somebody in the early game. And late game too, it's a significant issue. Counterpicked by, or another pick coming out, Shadow Shaman, extremely strong right now in this meta. Your thoughts on the draft?
Yeah, looking pretty standard for the most part. Agreed with the Skywrath combination. Void is a hero that's been picked up a lot by Navi. I believe they've been running it mostly on the carry role. I mean, they do switch it around a bit. It's gonna be interesting to see whether or not they run this as a core silencer, or not core silencer, core Skywrath mage. We have seen Dendi play yesterday. We got a treat for the Dondo AA mid. The whole Navi is back all the way to TI1 era with the mid AA, so we got a treat with that. Maybe we'll see a treat with the Skywrath mage here, because that Aghanim Skywrath is probably one of the most broken Aghanims in the game. I don't know how it ranks on Suns fans list, but it's pretty damn powerful. It's getting 2 instant silences, 2 instant Mystic Flares. It's crazy amount of damage. But Vega Squadron coming out with this huge kind of push potential here, and Navi banning out heroes accordingly with the Drow and Broodmother bans. Navi coming up again with the Clockwork pick and instantly Sand King. So Neff, what do you think about? Oh wow, immediate Ricky pick. All right, so talk to me about this, Neff. What do you think?
All right. The amount of couriers that Roger picked off with Ricky 2 days ago when we were casting those games was insane. I mean,
was it like 4 couriers? 3 or 4 couriers?
4 couriers with the Ricky. So hopefully we get to see more of that today. But also, I just want to comment on how strong Roger's Clockwork was as well. He ended up winning that game for Navi, I think, when he baited out... Were you around for that game? No, I don't think so. It was just me.
No, I was not around for the last game, yeah.
He got fired for anime-related comments and then had to take some time off. Hopefully you've changed your ways since then, though.
What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? Anyway, back... frivolous accusations aside, going back to the draft, it's interesting to see that Vega opted not to go for a Skywrath counter in any of their picks so far. I guess they were baiting on or counting on the Skywrath just being support, and they didn't want to waste a pick on like a Nyx or maybe a Pugna to counter it. But now with these picks, Clockwork and Ricky, it's still unsure, because this still could be a mid Skywrath, and the Clockwork could be pushed into the offlane. I'm pretty sure now the Clockwork will be pushed to the offlane, so Ricky has to be the other support. So this has to be a mid Skywrath, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, they still have a lot of flexibility. They could play mid Skywrath. It could be a offlane Clockwork Roger on the Ricky and support.
They can pick up another.
Yep. So
mid hero.
They still have a lot of flexibility in their draft, so they're not revealing too much right now. I very much like Navi's picks. They've shown to have nothing but success in this tournament as well. I believe they've won all their games in this PGL close qualifiers, drag and drop.
I think so, yeah.
It was 2 O's, all 2 O's, yep.
5 seconds remaining.
So Navi has been looking pretty strong this past month with this new roster. I think Crystallize has performed pretty well. Not a I think a player that most Western fans might not be familiar with. But Roger, of course, going to TI with the Team Empire, and that team obviously doing exceptionally well, overperforming in most eyes. But I think that Roger has shown himself to be very, very strong here. On this new Na'Vi, this new lineup.
Roger's been very strong. Crystallize. I can't help but be impressed by this guy. I mean, in 2 games yesterday, he played Weaver. Got complete free farm, was kind of off the radar for the most part, but near the end, when it really counted, he was there and he was just dominating. No questions asked, and that's a great quality to have in a carry player, to rely upon in these late game situations, especially, that are never really easy. Just to have someone that is so confident in some of these heroes, to be able to deliver or do the damage that they need him to do.
I'm not that familiar with Crystallize, but I think it's really big for a player to come into the Dota scene and then start showing nothing but success. I mean, like, good on him, and everybody's gonna love him for it, you know?
Yeah, I think that what Na'Vi does pretty well, though, is that they do, as an organization, they do scouting out pretty well of up-and-coming players. They do their homework, and they're pretty organized in that regard. As we saw, you know, they pulled Seneko up. They were able to get Roger. And they found General as well. General was a stand-in in Empire like a while back ago, and so they're able to pull him in as well. And General, of course, probably I would definitely say is a world-class offlaner. I really enjoy his play. As we're gonna get into the switching gears though here, we're going into the last set of bans. What do you think that Vega Squadron still needs a carry, and they're going to be taking Omni Knight? So this, no, I think this is probably a safe lane. Has to be safe lane Veno here. So
yeah,
everyone's been playing Veno safe lane, but you know, the carry Omni Knight dream. I'm sure that's what everyone wants to see.
Yeah, I saw the Sand King and the Venomancer, and I thought they might do maybe some dual lane shenanigans with that. So we might see like a Veno Sand King off lane combination. But no, we're gonna go with the Omni Knight. It's gonna go probably into the off lane position. We're gonna see that very strong roaming Sand King, and the classic Omni OD combination that we all grew sick and tired of about 1.5 years ago. I hated that in my pubs. I don't know about you guys, but that was just terrible when I was experiencing that. So we're gonna have to see it again here. What do you think Na'Vi is gonna pick up here, Neff?
I have absolutely no idea. Na'Vi has continued to surprise me with a lot of their picks. They go a little bit outside of what a lot of the other teams do, which I absolutely love. And then they play this run-at-you style Dota, so probably something to go with that. They could pick up a Queen of Pain. They could do Skywrath Mage mid, like you were talking about. Some decent insight, but we never know what to expect from Dendy mid, because he took us back to TI1 2 days ago with his mid AA. That was a fun match to watch. And then he ended up going Shadowblade on AA. So, really, I can't provide much insight into the thoughts of Na'Vi.
I mean, that's something I do when I want to just fool around in bot games, you know. But they're going to go with the sniper. A pretty good pick here. It's really great against OD mid, and it allows you a way to take down the wards, the plague wards and the shadow shaman wards, without having to be in too much danger. Sniper, of course, having all that long range, and going to be pretty protected. There's not much in terms of jumping on him. This will be a support Sand King, I believe, and it may or may not take him a while to get that blink dagger, and we're going to see if G on his OD will get a blink dagger, some kind of mobility spell or mobility item as he'll need. But yes, as you said, you're right, Neff. This will be a support Skywrath Mage on Seneko as we go into the game here. So I'm excited for this. Who do you think has the edge, D-Drop and Neff?
Well, I kind of like Navi's lineup, to be honest. You have a lot of synergies just between the Skywrath Mage and not just the Chronosphere Void, but also the Clockwork. You catch someone in cogs, you just drop the ultimate right on top of it, and it's pretty much a dead hero. Clockwork in general also good against heroes like Venomance until the 4-stars come out, Sand King as well, and not to mention the Shadow Shaman. So they have a lot of opportunity to make stuff happen in that regard. On the flip side, Vega Squadron, well, they pull out the Omni Knight. It's not something that they've played in officials as far as I can tell recently. But that's a hero that can just throw things out of whack, in the sense that he provides a lot of sustain, a lot of heal and burst potential. And and just the ability to use repel and kind of make the Skywrath obsolete in time fights, essentially. So depending on how they play it, they might just be able to surprise Na'Vi.
I don't know. I think Navi's lineup is super strong. Like the power of Sniper along with Clockwork, both being able to initiate onto the heroes and make them easy for a Sniper to kill, along with stopping the enemies from jumping on top of the Sniper through the power of Power Cogs and Hookshot, is insane. Coupled with Faceless Void, also another hero, absolutely crazy with Sniper. Like the amount of workaround they have with this Chronosphere, they're gonna absolutely dominate any fight they have Chronosphere up and use it for. So unless they manage to get the jump on this Faceless Void, their team's not gonna do very well in team fights against Na'Vi. I mean,
Roger might be walking into a sentry ward here. They see him up. Just gonna walk away.
Tap him a little bit. Try to secure the rune, but General has other plans, just drops the cogs right on top of it. And at least they get the one last hit. Or the two last hits here, Zayat's also able to get one. But a quick little roster note before the action really gets going. Of course, Zayat's here on Shadow Shaman, replacing Silent for the time being on the Vega Squadron. And of course, G Arena has been kicked and Dandy is back on the Na'Vi roster.
Rip G Arena.
Beat me to it. That G Arena guy played pretty well, but now that the tournaments are ticketed, I guess they took back to fan favorite Dandy.
Mid lane. Dandy looking a little worse for wear here.
Quite a lot of damage coming through at the very least, but no follow-up spells or anything. Unable to really bring him down just yet, but they will be able to burn through his region quite a bit. And force out the rotation. Roger making an appearance mid now. Is there a sentry ward for him? There's one on Sand King.
It was not your fate.
Dandy having to play back a little bit. Doesn't really have the health, and Roger doesn't necessarily have the best impact. Doesn't have the Orb of Venom. He does have boots though, so he can roam a little bit easier, but he's just gonna get stunned out here. Slayer is... Sorry, go ahead.
They did manage to scout out that sentry ward drop, so Roger's gonna be able to deal with it pretty easily. I'm sure he was looking at thinking as he placed it. So no mid ward for OD once Roger manages to get the money for a sentry ward. I mean, I think he's gonna go for Orb of Venom first, but good catch by him.
One thing that we didn't note though in the early game is that Roger was able to block the dire easy camp pull and take out the sentry ward, so his roaming potential in this area, as well as giving some hopefully get some unseated XP for general for him to come in, for the creep wave to come into him. So good heads up play there for Roger to be able to get that sentry ward without getting his scouted out.
Let's talk a little bit about this bottom lane, because Omni Knight, we haven't seen that hero too much recently, but generally he's in a 1v1 situation, he's considered to be quite strong. So how do you think he's gonna fare here against Faceless Void?
It's a pretty even matchup here. Omni Knight can't do much harass the Void out. They both have ways to sustain their health. Void obviously with that time walk to negate damage, and Afterlife able to, you know, give his health back. So it kind of goes back and forth each way, as we actually see Slayer being cheeky and stealing some creeps there on that easy camp. So it's kind of even. What's more important here is that Crystallize will be able to get off to a good start, and I think
all top lane. General might be in trouble. The shotguns come off after the slow connect from the lower dance. A lot of damage being done. The last bit of cogs pushes him back, but he's still gonna die to the poison with the one last 80 damage right click from the Shadow Shaman. So first blood actually being spilled up top. Meanwhile in mid, Roger now. He does have his Orb of Venom now, so we'll be able to deal with Slayer a little bit more effectively. Sentry or no sentry.
I think they're going to take that sentry out, and easy regen for Roger.
Roger God. He's just got it all this game. He de-warded, he scouted out that ward. I mean, Empire is probably...
Oh, he got the other one too.
What a god. Roger. Wow.
Wow.
He hasn't sniped the courier yet though.
He's about
Probably still on his bucket list. Yeah.
Gonna get a say.
Alright, never
No,
mind.
they're aware. Their Slayer's dropping back like, oh, there's a Ricky here. Give me your boots, give me your tangos. I'll ferry them over to you, G. What a teammate.
Slayer's been downgraded to courier.
I mean, I think they have like, you know, mini hero couriers. I think Sand King would make a little cute one. But he gets the Sentry Ward in response.
So, who do you think is getting the edge here out of this laning stage?
I think, I mean, it's better for Na'Vi to try to get their gold going, just because the push will come, and getting those early levels on the Void is very, very important to try to stop this push that's coming in. I believe they might not be able to contest the first tower, but I think the second tier 1 tower is where I guess the game will kind of tilt towards. I don't know what you think, Neff, but I think that stopping this push that's going to come from Vega, it's pretty strong with the Shadow Shaman wards and Veno, will be something that Na'Vi has to address. Maybe not in the first tier 1 tower, but in the second one. What do you think, Neff?
Na'Vi definitely have all the tools they need to deal with this enemy team. Omni Knight was a decent last pick. In the form of Repel, stopping Skywrath mage damage and Space's void damage inside the Chronosphere. As long as the Omni Knight doesn't get caught out, they have ways to deal with it, but Navi's team fight is just way too strong in my opinion.
Ooh, Sand King. They should have a lot of trouble if they just used the burst strike. Sandstorm comes through, but he's still sitting in the shrapnel. He's going to take out for this. Damn. Yeah, Roger, once again, just giving them that intel. He was stalking Slayer the entire way towards the middle lane, and Snako made rotation too, so to make the kill happen.
Yeah, Roger doing exactly what he needs to do. He knows that getting kills is not really his job here. He just needs to stop Slayer from doing whatever he wants and slowing him down. And he was just gonna...
Dendy's best friend right now. Apologies for interrupting you. Continue, my friend.
I mean, you want to keep Dendy happy, you know? He's a happy guy anyway, but you keep him happy.
Tries luck in the top lane. Clockwork gonna get stunned up, follow up the shackles, no cogs to keep everyone away. They still have Venomous Gale. This should be a dead Clockwork, but can it trade?
He's gonna jump in, Dust.
Yeah, it's actually gonna jump into the cogs, gets dusted up. And they're gonna die for him. They get a couple of slows off, another burst strike will connect, and will be a secondary casualty here for Na'Vi. Top lane turning out to be quite advantageous here for the Vega Squadron side. Only 2 points up and event wards too. So eventually this tower will be whittled down. On the back of this.
One thing that did happen there is Roger managed to deny the Clockwork instead of him dying. That's why he jumped in.
Oh, we did.
Ah,
Roger God, everybody.
Roger God.
Sometimes really hard to notice, but yeah, good on him.
Under attack.
Yeah.
Rather him giving over that money than the Clockwork, I guess. And the levels mostly.
They might actually set up a kill here on Slayer.
They have Dust available here. They'll start with good burst strike up to the high ground though. In general, with the cogs also blocking in Roger.
Unable to keep him in that smoke screen. Unfortunate.
Unlucky, some would say. Not me though.
Right, so Crystallize is about to hit level 6. Do you expect him to start using that aggressively, TP to other lanes, get kills, or is this a farming game for the Void?
I think it's mostly going to be a farming game. The only combinations of heroes that he can get a kill on, or kill with, would be with Dendy, to lay someone down in that level 3 shrapnel. Otherwise, they're going to have to it had to be a combination between like Skywrath, Clockwork, and Void. It's the only way that he's going to be able to get any kind of kills. Oh, but he will use it.
A little bit of extra damage coming through. The silence still lasting for a little bit and long enough to prevent any sort of heals. He already used the stick charges earlier. So no level 6 out on Skyrock Mage, but they get enough.
They might catch out Shadow Shaman on top.
They do indeed. Gonna take out the Fairy Assault.
I tested your metal.
What we were talking about in the drafts, of Clockwork being so strong against Shadow Shaman in these kind of situations where just catch up, cogs, and there's no counterplay to that.
No shackles for you. Also, I want to point out, Seneco, they wouldn't have gotten that kill on the Omniate there if Seneco didn't have the skill build that he currently does. He went 2 points into Ancient Seal, which is a little bit unusual, but it was super effective there. That extra second managed to give the time they needed to secure the seal off.
And not to mention the extra damage here, Face of Void would get a bash like that. It is magical damage. So it does help of bringing down these pesky heroes. Max level time lock. Pretty strong, so Neko TP's out, Slayer and Zayats. Rapid around here, we want to get some revenge on the Crystallize, we're gonna have to wait for one more hero to come back into it. Could be the OD, but it could also be, again, the Omni Knight teleporting back into lane. Crystallize is none the wiser. Might get caught out by this.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, bringing in the OD as well.
Hex into Shackle. And the OD is the damage source. Should be fairly easy, and it is. Plenty of control here between these heroes, and Zaya, it's actually the one taking that money.
Navi, smoke rotation there, and maybe they're gonna find a response kill here.
Just wait, but now goes for the hook shot here, tries to catch the OD instead. They'll just walk into the ads, but then you also make a rotation. So, only the consolation prize with that rotation, I guess, but a kill nonetheless.
Zoning hook shot from General there.
Of course.
Yeah, but Slayer is getting this huge stack here for himself, so gonna be buffing up his own golden income, finishing up. It's pretty good little bounty for him there. Unable to finish off the big creeps though.
Coming in here with a bit of a heal.
Yep. Afterlife will get that for himself.
Almost as the face boots completed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Slayer's map presence in this game is pretty amazing as well. Like, Navi's responding to it, especially Vulture in particular, responding to it pretty well, but Slayer is just all over the place and they're constantly having to deal with him. He's everywhere. I'm sure Navi's feeling the pressure that he's putting on him.
And now Roger has kind of abandoned his attempts of keeping track of him, trying to make something else happen. He is level 6 now. Making his way towards top, towards a lower dance, who's had pretty much complete free farm. He is the king of the top lane. Killing on his sister's name as well, sitting at the top of the net worth chart. And now, well, very hard to go on him, is it?
Yeah, they're still waiting on a level 6 from Shaman. I would imagine he's just going to park himself in the lane now to get that. And it looks like they will be setting up a push here with that sentry ward.
Does Navi want to fight this, or do you just want to try and counter push in the other lanes? And Crystallizes bottom, does have another Chronosphere and a Mask of Madness now.
Not sure how they can defend this just yet. They would have to just rotate Dendi, because he's kind of the only hero that can take care of this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So if they wanted to, you know, maybe rotate someone else and give more XP to the mid lane, could do that, but I think they might just let this go.
Radiant's top
You were
tower
talking about
is
that
under
earlier, you were
attack.
saying that they've let the first tier 1 go pretty much.
Radiant structures.
Yeah, and they would have to expect that it would be that offlane tower.
Yeah, and they're probably going to let the second one go because Shadow Shaman is just about to hit level 6 and get Serpent Wards, probably off this next wave. Yeah, off the
Radiant's top tower is under
Don't even need to use it here with the Plague Wards being spammed out, but so they can even use it for the next tower. I mean, it's offlane tier 1, not exactly important in terms of map control, because you still have the shrine there. All you're really losing is a bit of vision.
Yeah, I would definitely say that even with the Roche change, this the Radiant tier 1, a lot of the time before the Roche was moved in the middle of the river here, it was the Radiant top tier 1 tower was considered the most useless tower in terms of strategic value. I think that may or may not still be in the same case.
That, yeah.
Yeah,
Should be. He does have a haste rune just timing out, made it to the tier 2, and actually keep him safe, whether he knows it or not. It's still going in though, and there it is. Silence, double silence even from Soneko as well as Roger. And the ultimate job to secure that kill. As easy as that. Crystallize down bottom, he sees the zap from the Shadow Shaman, so he time ups away, doesn't want to get caught out, while the rest of the team is unable to respond, so they will be able to plink away at this tier 1 tower. Bottom lane in return it will be threatened, and this will drop the wards for sure.
Dire's middle tower has
doesn't look
fallen.
like they're going to respond to this one before just keep it away.
Radiant structures.
Yeah, they opted to.
Oh, instead of
Radiant's
Go ahead,
top
go ahead,
tower
go ahead, sorry.
is under
Man six.
attack.
Bounty.
Bit important one. He already has the 4th staff, so pretty good against a lot of what Navi has in terms of initiation. When you think about the Riki smoke screen and the clockwork, but obviously it's not going to help you too much against Chronosphere in most circumstances. Crystallize, not really feeling confident enough to walk forward. Doesn't have too much vision in this area.
Radiant's
You want on bottom? Okay, it's Soneko. He's trying to stick around here. Thankfully for him, he's fast enough to just walk away. Now TP's towards middle lane. They want to punish Dendi for going out way too fast. Lane's getting closer and closer to a Murder Strike, and then he actually turns around as he sees the Venomancer. No way. survive this one in the river of death, as I like to call it.
Attempt was made though. He tried to TP out. There's just no way Roger got fast enough with the smoke screen to save him. Unlucky.
Well,
I'll take your
so this game's gonna continue like this, just both teams kind of poking and prodding when the other team isn't responding to the tower pushes and just getting a kill here or there. Like, when is this gonna turn into a more head-on collision between these teams?
It might turn into it in the mid tier 1. And just let that tier 1 bottom go. Seneko looks like he's gonna get picked off here.
I actually need division on him. He's juking and jiving inside the trees, but eventually trying to TP out with the silence is
What a
long
player.
enough. So good play. Saw the
Good
burst
heads
right
up play
come
there.
out. CIS with the silence up.
Yeah, but in terms of going forward, I think that it can go one or two ways. Either Navi just waits longer to get their items, and they wait for Vega to come in, or Navi plays this kind of smoke and pick-off game with General Seneko. Oh, as we're gonna see a Chrono top lane.
They sure got that illusion.
They sure got that illusion.
Oh, it feels bad, man. Second chrono of the game, I believe.
Yeah, they would have to do that kind of play where they would go for this single pick-off and maybe force a tower push here and there, but looks like that might be just a tad bit delayed.
I'll still get it here, because all 5 of them are RP, and Vega should be realizing this. With the ward, he's scouting out these rotations.
Yeah, I don't really think they care though. They just need to drop
Radiant's
wards and
bottom
take
tower
that
is under
one.
attack.
If it
Yeah,
catapults as
exactly.
well, that tower's
Dire's
dead.
top tower is under attack.
There should be no
Radiant
glyph available here,
structures are
actually just
fortified.
used, so I'll delay this somewhat, but no one's TPing back. Actually, they're TPing the shrines. General slinging for a hook shot and actually finds it on the Sand King, but
Dire's top tower
he
has
doesn't have the
fallen.
burst strike available to get him out of that
Radiant's bottom
situation. The
tower
tower
is under attack.
down below half health. These movements here will at least secure that it won't go down just yet. Roger keeping tabs on these 3 dire heroes. So far so good.
Once that
sir.
oh, sorry, yeah. Once the tier 2 tower goes down, they can have control of their jungle though, which helps them quite a bit.
Dire's
Slows down the
top
farm of
tower
the heroes
is
on
under
Navi.
attack.
This game's pretty.
We want to find him actually drop the epicenter hex up. Watching. Still gets into his ultimate here. Zad's unable to instantly follow up with the shackles, but well, that ultimate not doing enough damage to repel them.
Really inevitable.
Yep. I was going to say a really good play there by Afterlife. You instantly repelled Zayak, so he can make sure that he was able to get his shackles off there. So good heads up play there by Afterlife. But they will. Navi's going to smoke, but they smoke right under a ward, so we'll see how Vega responds to that.
Dire are scanning.
Probably just gonna dodge it out. And rather defensive positions right now. Afterlife TPing back to the safety of tier 2 tower. G also sticking around there. The only one that's far out is Lower Dance up top, who doesn't really care
They
about
might
what
find.
they do a lot of damage here, but now the repel comes out, the shackles, clockwork. Oh, what do you say to that? Jebaited or something? I don't know. Didn't quite have the
Jebaited.
power to make that happen.
Yeah, this is now making the items here for Vega Squadron is they've atomized pretty well here early. They went for two 4-staffs, full Hurricane Pike for Venomancer, and as we can see here, Afterlife is also going to go for a 4-staff as well, as wards get dropped in the mid lane and Dandy Shrapnel. Shrapnel? Is that how you say it?
Putting down shrapnel charge.
Using a shrapnel charge,
The
yes.
shrapnel ability.
Shrapnel-ing the lane.
Yes, I'm gonna ask our caster, whose second language is English, how to pronounce things.
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
Seems good, man.
Speaks English with such honeyed and good-sounding like words. Much better than me.
When I was younger, I have been told that I speak English better than some native speakers. By native speakers,
I mean,
so, yeah.
Generally
That was a long time ago.
speaking, people who learn English as a second language speak it better than those who speak it natively. That's kind of true for most languages as well, because you learn it very structurally and very grammatically, so you speak it better.
Great, now don't feel special anymore. Thanks, DFB. Oh,
Good
dust
light.
comes
But
out.
Slayer getting caught up with this dust.
Hookshot comes through. Cogs. Does have another burst strike now, and the Science just a tad bit too late. He's TPing out, but well, battery's still going. Will still secure this kill. Almost didn't quite work out there, but Navi managed to find it regardless.
They were able to get it, but Slayer was able to buy his Blink Dagger before that death, so the initiation power is now there for Vega Squadron, so they might be a little bit more comfortable approaching Navi and scouting up on their own. Guess everyone...
Can he opt for the 200 health down instead of the shrapnel and DPS? So I think he knows that the enemies want to go on really badly. How often do you see the 200 health over the shrapnel and DPS though? I feel like it rarely ever happens.
Yeah, it doesn't really happen too often, just because the shrapnel charges. Shrapnel is such a powerful ability, and it does synergize well with his other talents, with the plus 25% cooldown reduction and the plus 4 shrapnel charges. So it's a little bit different. I don't blame him for wanting to be just a little bit tankier. So it's his preference. So I don't fault him too much for that. We'll see what he goes for next. We're gonna see a smoke up from Vega.
Yeah, either you go the plus 5 mana region, the shrapnel, the cooldown, and the shrapnel charges, for like the spell-based build where you spam on assassinates and shrapnels, or you go the other talents for more of a right-click oriented build. I mean, you also went for the attack speed, and we'll probably go for the attack range as a result as well. But yeah, this Vega's losing a lot of time down here because they were smoked up, but Roger was actually in a decent position. He pinged it out, he saw the animation, and he didn't even break the smoke, so it's... Vega didn't even know that they were scouted going down here.
Yeah, but Navi will be taking Roshan here. What a nice little grab there for Seneko. Using all his mana to help his team do Roshan and then getting a regen for his troubles.
That's just karma, you know? You help your team, and then Ice Rock rewards you. It's a nice little boon, but...
Thanks, Ice Frog. Thank you, Mr. Lizard.
Looks like with his Aegis, Navi's gonna be ready to put the herd onto some objectives, but it's the same idea the Vega Squadron is having. Just pushing down a tier 3 glyph already used. Neko starting to farm up some of these walls. It's gonna take quite a while. Unless there's more rotations, and they are coming indeed, Roger. Popping down 2 sentries because... Oh no, that's the sentry and observer. They look very similar somehow.
General TPing in the backline, see if he can find a hook here.
Can catch a Venomancer here, that'd be amazing. Epicenter in the front, being used though. On to face his Void, Crystallize, pops his BKB and gets the time walk off. In the meantime, Zayat's the first one to fall. Venomancer gets the ultimate off, force love across, away from General. Now him and Roger are actually in a little bit of trouble. Ricky will pop the ultimate. General doesn't have that same luxury. Not another... Yeah, there's another burst strike here with the extra bit of mana. They actually end up getting both.
Yeah, that was really good. Good by both teams there. They Clockwork, General on his Clockwork, trying to pick someone up from the back line, but Slayer getting the heads up play and getting that stun and Epi off. Basically just getting Crystallized out of that fight, even with that FKVs. Yeah, still really good heads up play there by Vega. Yeah. They do trade the tier 2 tower up top bottom, or 2 tower top dandy there.
I think that went about as well as it could have for Vega Squadron though. That Faceless Void and Skyrise Mage combo is terrifying. And, I don't think I went over this earlier, but they have huge pick-off potential, like forcing the enemies to play by their rules with Clockwork and Ricky, both really good information heroes and good at picking off people if you separate your supports from the rest of your team. Dragon Drop touched up on how good Clockwork is at catching out Shadow Shaman, so forced to play around his other heroes a lot. Navi's draft is just so good, but Vega Squadron's reaction, being able to jump on that Faceless Void, force out his BKB.
They might catch out G here.
I see him farming the Ancients. Roger leading the charge. You see him now into a Chronosphere. Catches Ricky, but still plenty of damage. Or do they? The repel will dodge quite a bit of that. Follow up with the burst strike. He crystallized, pops BKB again with very little health to work with. It trying to commit for the kill, but I just can't. Slayer, well, 4 stuff away from the right clicks here. playing around the bash, and they will all survive. That's another BKB charge down, and a Chronosphere on cooldown for another 100 seconds. Na'Vi, they're trying to make use of these teamfight combos that they drafted, but they just can't quite find a closer.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit worrying for them just because Crystallize does not have a lot of damage here, but they will find Shadow Shaman.
Well, good hookshot there inside. Gonna be helping out with some vision and damage.
Go for me.
One of the issues with trying to run your Shadow Shaman by himself when you're up against a Clockwork and Ricky. Things like that are just going to happen. As I was talking about a little bit earlier.
I've seen games
hype.
where a Shadow Shaman can just get away with that and just split push and take Raxes when the other team is not looking.
So frustrating to watch. I mean, certain times there's like nothing you can do about it. Like the whole rest of the team is so much of a threat. You just have to accept that Shadow Shaman is going to split pushing. But I don't think that's like the most optimal way of playing Shadow Shaman. It's sort of what people do, especially in pubs, especially in North America.
NA pubs, lol.
You know what I'm
You
talking
guys
about.
would know
right,
better than
Monty?
I do.
Yeah, I'm aware of the NA pubs, man.
That's some PTSD swinging in your voice.
I mean, sometimes it doesn't feel like NA pubs. It feels like SA pubs, but what you gonna do about it?
At the same time being channeled out, they want to find Roger down here. Oh, I think the blink was cancelled by Rocket Player, so that didn't quite work out. The hookshot will get him close, and now Sand King is the one who's in trouble. Slayer will be slain after this failed attempt. It's a play from General there, whether he meant to or not. That Rocket Player probably saved the Ricky.
Oh, the damage from Dendi.
What the?
Whoa.
Ow.
Yeah, once Dendy gets his BKB, that's when they're going to push. But they're not going to get used after stages, I don't think. Because his BKB is still a little bit away, and it's too scary to try and fight them right now.
Yeah, but they still might go for a push, just because they know that Epicenter is down for another minute, so they might try to group up here and spend their team fight. Age is going down, but Chrono is back up, so they do have ways to fight. Chrono down the mid lane.
Yes. Gonna drop everything on Venomancer. This time Roger silenced up the Omni Knight together with Sun Echo afterwards, preventing that counterplay. So they'll just get the one, but 2 kills as well as a tower for their efforts. So this time around, managed to use all the spells in the right places.
I'm calling it now. I'm just going to say it after this game, dragging it up. You know what I'm going to say.
Oh god. Well, you're the one who's gonna be yelled at by Twitch chat, so I'm fine with it.
They aren't real
Dire's
people.
bottom tower is under attack.
Wow.
Twitch chat is love. Twitch chat is life. All praise to Kappa.
Oh
Stop.
god.
Please.
Stop pandering to Twitch chat. It's never a good idea.
Has fallen.
Tier 1 the tower dies as well in the bottom. Tier 2 and next one under threat. Vega Squadron without their 2 heroes feeling comfortable fighting this, but now they should find Roger on the side as well, trying to protect himself, but
Is under attack.
should die eventually. There it is.
At some point he'll die.
Good mischance from the cloud, keeping him safe from G's right clicks, but he said enough is enough. Just slapped him down with that ether shock.
I'm sure he just did that because he has some sort of grudge against you. Just wanted to make you look slightly worse.
Well, it looks like the group up for Vega Squadron will be coming in, and we'll see what they can do to force their will here on the Na'Vi Tier 1 tower. Chrono not up for another 30 seconds. Might have to do some delays with the shrapnel charges, but yeah, I imagine this tower will fall. Do you think that they'll keep pushing? Enough?
Given that they just dropped wards, I don't think so. Look, they're already starting to scatter. They're terrified of Navi's team fight. And Navi's slowly starting to come online. Yep, he can be a sniper now.
Radiant's
Well,
middle
I mean,
tower has
not
been
quite.
denied.
He's opting to go for...
They're still sticking around here, actually. They're wrapping around.
She is in this here, coming in, gets some right clicks, but Chronosphere barely keeping Snake alive for the time being. Now right clicks from Snipe and back, finishes up Slayer. The hook shot control onto the OD. 2-for-1 trade so far, but it's not quite over yet. Roger slowing down the Omni Knight. BKB TP on the Venomancer, barely keeping him alive, but damn. They severely overestimated the strength there, I guess. Which is weird because, as you guys said, up until this point, they've played very fearful, very respectful of this Na'Vi fighting power. But, I guess with the Invis OD, they thought they could find an opening.
Yeah, they figured that, okay, we're gonna drop the wards here, act like we're gonna back up, and then they were just gonna wrap around here. But unfortunately, Na'Vi was ready for it. They had the nice chrono. They caught 3 there. I think it was 3, right? The courier might die to the vent fire, but catching that out. So very well played by Na'Vi.
Just before they
General looking for a pick-off.
Yes, just saying, just before they managed to take down the Skyraft, it was super unfortunate for them, that whole fight. Like, just a little bit off being able to take it.
Yeah. Vincere still died afterwards.
Oh yeah, he
Took
died
some random
just as the
damage.
chronosphere ended.
Yeah. But the big one was the chronosphere. They need to find a way. Okay, good catch from Roger there as well. Fighting his ass again. But I think the biggest problem is that chronosphere indeed. So you either have to catch Crystallize and try and prevent him. He does have the BKB though, so all of your silence rules aren't really going to carry it anymore. Or you have to try and find Sniper, but it's the same story with him.
Is under attack.
It's going to be very difficult to catch Sniper, so... I mean, right now they're relying on maybe living through the chrono or stopping Crystallize from getting his... or forcing him low enough where he doesn't want to stay in this fight. But something that we didn't touch up on is that in the mid-tier 1 or mid-tier 2 dire push, Crystallize and Ricky and Seneko were able to both pick up their defusal plays at the same time, so... the Omni presence with that GA, trying to counter out the Chronosphere, will get removed or purged off. Na'Vi going for this tier 3 push.
Thank God for that change. Diffusal Blade no longer disabling Repel. If that were the case, I'm sure Vega Squadron would have drafted it if that were the case, because Void and Ricky are both natural carriers of Diffusal Blade, and Omni Knight was last picked, correct? So I'm sure they wouldn't have done that if that were the case, but if it was, it'd be super bad for that Omni save.
Oh, Dendi.
Quick fingers popping the BKB just when he needed to. It was a 10-second charge, so it still kind of hurts. Vega were really hoping for a kill there.
I mean, I think he's mostly picking this up just in case in situations like that where he's going to get picked off or the Venom Mancer is going to get his ulti. But meanwhile, mid lane, Roger.
Looking for him. There's a hook shot though in the back with the silence. They'll finish off the Shadow Shaman as he tried to wrap around for the interception. Vega. Not quite finding the right openings. They're making these attempts, but Na'Vi always seems to be one step ahead and always in the right position to counteract that.
Yeah, you just can't send your Shadow Shaman off away from the team, but they sort of need to sometimes to get the right initiation without them being able to scout out the Shadow Shaman, so it's a super hard game for him. Clockwork and Ricky are both so good at dealing with that hero, especially when he tries to run off and move.
Oh.
Try to keep the DP rune for somebody, so he's trying to turn it in this.
I really think Vega need to catch this, or this is going to be game for them. Get Aegis and
We're trying. TP's coming through. It's not being scattered out just yet by Na'Vi, but never mind the scanning. Ward being taken care of immediately. This Ricky trying to do his best to just delay this. Roger might be in a bad spot here. You have to walk inside the ultimate, but hey, Slayer coming through with double burst strike. Sentry is down. Now the ultimate from radio BKBs will prevent the damage. Dendi still committing for Age. Rochelle is being chain bashed and clicked at by the Serpent Monster. Chronosphere in the back though. They'll clean up Vega. 3 heroes down there. Make it a 4th in a moment perhaps, but no. Then we'll pick up the Aegis. We'll have to use it right away. It's Venomancer committing for him. Meanwhile, OD in the back will finish up Roger. 4 stars out from both sub parties. We'll bring this to an end. So Na'Vi, they get a couple of kills. They don't keep a hold of the Aegis. So all they have is the cheese.
Vega had a really good response to that there. They did about as well as they could have. Na'Vi is so much stronger than them at this point. Their net worth advantage keeps on growing. They actually, Vega Squad, even though they traded 3 heroes for the 2 supports, they actually got net worth advantage in that team fight there, just by a little bit. But they got 100 more XP and what was that? 11 more gold to Na'Vi in that team fight.
Yay!
Yay!
Roger was actually worth quite a lot. 582 golds. That's what he got for that kill alone. Yeah,
Na'Vi was able to delay that delay Vega from coming in. into that Roshan pit. Dendi was almost dropped, and they were able to get one more, you know, maybe some more damage there, maybe a purification or just a couple of OD right clicks in there. But Navi doing a good job zoning them out and allowing Dendi to finish that Aegis and get that cheese to couple up with that. This probably will slow down their push. I would imagine this game is going to change one way or another. Don't you think, Neff?
I don't know. It makes things a little bit easier for Vega Squadron. Things aren't going to be as hard as they could be if they got like that Roche without a threat. But that was so close for Vega Squadron. I feel like the game would have really turned around if they just managed to do a little bit more damage to Dendi. As soon as the Roshan died, he picked up the Aegis and then died right afterwards. So they were so close.
Mid lane.
Squad mid, dropping everything, and Afterlife trying to help with the spells, but now that's being defeated off Slayer with the zone open general, hook shotting in, but look at Dendi sitting all the way to back. He's doing so much damage. Afterlife gonna get bashed out. Make that 3 assassination on the Venomounts. He makes it to the high ground. Hacks Roger. Trying to bring him down, but CIS is just dying to the artillery.
That's gonna be game.
There's no buybacks, no ultimates.
And that Omni Knight, he had to use.
Dire's
I
middle
mean,
tower is under
Epicenter
attack.
was used there. Guardian Angel was used just a little bit late, too much to save the OD. Yeah, that's
Dire's
game.
structures are
DD
fortified.
Rune and Dendi as well. So that was a foregone conclusion if they knew about that. That's the strength of the draft that you guys were talking about between the Chronosphere and pretty much everything. Right? You have Roger scouting out, you have Seneco's, and you also have the sniper just doing a ridiculous amount of damage at this point. Well, this Slice eats the cheese just in the nick of time. Damn.
Yum, num, num,
Also
num.
being thrown out.
General going back in.
The Venomont's controlled up with the hook shot, yeah, and he's gonna die. You'll set it now on the Omni Knight inside the
The
silence.
train coming in.
It's just making it look way too easy. Then with a double kill in the end. They will finish up the second set of racks. And yeah, I guess GG is just a matter of time, is it?
Yeah.
They haven't called it yet. They do have a buyback on Venomancer, but I'm waiting for them to call it right now.
We'll just take the
Yeah,
time to
they're
think
gonna
about
lose a
what went
full
wrong.
Well, they got caught off in the OD mid. They didn't have vision before that time. Roger was able to pick up a gem, so he was dewarding just a tad. But they didn't have vision, and G getting caught out in the mid lane there just kind of sealed their fate. We see big Epi.
Right, Epicenter, Burst Strike, forced forward in the mid. Not doing too much damage on the silence on the OD, and then the Chronosphere combo. It's just being deleted, and that is finally Zayat calling it first. GG, well played. Navi take game number 1, this best of 3 series.
I'm gonna say it.
Radiant
Navi is back! Oh, well played by them.
You know what I'm gonna say?
Stop. The chat wheels are finally gone. I don't want any more.